What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Rivian. I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been coming out associated to the company itself, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, Rivian is up 1.74% today, so it is doing rather well. There's a lot of fear in the market because of this upcoming Wednesday's Fed decision rate as well as CPI, but again, Rivian is doing rather well despite there being no news today. So the last news that did come out was on June the 6th, which relatively was good news, mind you. So Rivian introduced a second generation R1S and R1T, so pretty good stuff when it comes down to that. So it goes over price point, and yeah, it kind of indicates that right here. As well, they did update their website. So very good for marketing. That's one thing that Rivian has always stood out with. And beside that, the last SEC filing did come out on Friday, so June the 7th. So it was a amended 13G. A lot of people seem to be very excited about that because it does show Blackrock, but I don't think people are actually paying attention to what it's truly saying, because it does indicate that Blackrock did reduce their position by roughly 5%. So it's not necessarily the best, but I think it's kind of positive, because I do think that there's a big correlation between BlackRock and Vanguard ownership and heavily shorted stocks, because I think BlackRock tends to lend out their shares, which is more incentivizing for shorting. So something to kind of keep in mind. So maybe this is kind of a positive thing despite it causing a lot of volatility in the broader market. So again, you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. It has been a while since I've done a Rivian video. So as you can kind of see, the last analyst ratings that have come out was about 10 days ago. $13 price target, Morgan Stanley, Adam Jonas, 51% success rating. So Adam Jonas has always, as of late, I think part of second half of 2023, started to really like Rivian. Prior to that, he was only just a Tesla bull, and that was it. But now it is Tesla and Rivian. So I see that as pretty good, that at least the most hated analyst within the EV sector is starting to really like the underlying stock. And I've said that from the beginning, right? A lot of analysts, despite a lot of people bringing up fears within Rivian and how much they're burning through, blah, 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 but analysts have always really liked Rivian. So as a consensus, $13.56, which does represent a 15.6% upside. While I'm actually on Interactive Brokers, it does have the fair market value, so the latest Morningstar report being $17.21. So that is based on Rivian's assets and everything else. And the latest Elliott Wave technicals, so it does have a pivot point of $9.70. So for as long as Rivian is above that, then it is anticipated to get between that $13.70 and $14.50 range. So even the technicals are looking fairly optimistic. So I think right now that's what is really incentivizing institutions to get in, because of just the optimism associated to Rivian's future. Let me know your thoughts on that. On a side note, if you're looking for a lot of good compiled information, take a look at Interactive Brokers, completely free, link in the description below and also the comments. But when it comes down to some of the data points, you do see a lot of institutions getting in today, as well as over the last several trading days. And based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price, majority is buys, as you can kind of see. So I think that's generally a very positive thing, and that's one thing that has helped Rivian stand out from a lot of the other EVs over this last week, is institutions buying. Even looking at Friday, completely crazy. So 6.84 million, and then there was another big one right here, so 2.78 million. So like I said, big money is really backing up the bus when it comes down to Rivian. So the latest round of 13Gs across the board, not necessarily just BlackRock, will be very interesting to see. Although shorts are doubtful, right now they're increasing 707,000 shares, 18.11% of the free float is being shorted, utilization 61.16, cost to borrow average is 0.94%. So even though they are increasing today, generally the trend is looking very good, because at the peak was roughly around 21.47%, so it has gone down quite a lot. So shorts just realize that Rivian is actually doing a hell of a lot of things behind the scenes and is going to be a very big disruptor. That's just my own opinion. You guys do whatever floats your boat. But today, options wise, 1.08 million in calls, 511,000 in puts. Sentiment wise though, 59% of all the options being done today are bearish. and clearly are anticipating for it to trend down. Of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above roughly around 1250, and then vice versa. Looking at the puts, you do see a consensus for it to be kind of, it's all over the place, if in all honesty. So kind of sub maybe around $11 to $10.50. So clearly a little bit more evenly divided between the calls and the puts. But moving on though, right now with it at $11.79, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So $11.89 is going to be that next strong resistance / target. So that seems to be where Rivian is gravitating towards today, most likely given the circumstances and the bloodbath that's happening in the market. Well, not bloodbath, but you guys get what I'm saying. Given the circumstances, I don't feel Rivian will be able to get above this R1 today. Maybe it might test it and then just bounce off of that to consolidate and try again tomorrow. But nonetheless, at least it is attempting to break out. And then just looking right here, $10.63 is that next strong support that you'll want to watch for, which I don't anticipate that touching whatsoever unless CPI is very, very bad, and then the Feds give very bad guidance after their decision rate, which most likely won't be any change, but still something to kind of keep in mind. On the actual chart itself, so it is about to test that 100-day moving average, but still higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. Stochastic, you do see it relatively overbought. So if there is the first sign of fear within Rivian itself or associated to CPI, for instance, this is where you will see a significant sell-off as a byproduct of that. But number of retail investors have been getting into Rivian, so this is one of the very rare opportunities that you see both institutions and retail buying at the exact same time. So I think all in all, pretty good things are happening for Rivian. So a lot of the metrics that I like to look at, or the key data points such as shorts, looking at options, the technicals, everything is looking fairly bullish, and maybe might even be able to hit that Elliott wave technicals between that 1370 and I think it was 14 something. So I think bigger and better things are coming down the pipeline, but let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, if you have been selling, what have you been doing with Rivian? And then one final thing, take advantage of this promo. It is a kick-ass deal. Simply just sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.